Welcome back to English Real Talks, the podcast where we make practicing English a natural part of your everyday life. We are truly delighted that you have chosen to spend some of your time with us today. I am the professor.
And I am Jessica. Thank you so much for joining us. Whether you are currently making your morning tea, commuting to your job, or perhaps you are still snuggled deep under your duvet, you have found the perfect place to be. And if you are indeed still under that duvet, don't worry at all. Your secret is perfectly safe with us.
That is quite right. You can definitely start your English journey while still cozy under the covers.
Exactly. Blanket English is just as valid as any other kind of English. Now, Professor, before we dive into our main discussion, how has your day been so far? How did your morning begin?
Well, Jessica, my morning was quite typical. I woke up just a few minutes later than I intended, scrambled to make a pot of strong coffee, and gave myself a little lecture about being more disciplined. We shall see how long that feeling lasts.
So, a bit of a rush and a small promise to do better next time. I think almost every single one of our listeners can relate to that specific feeling.
I believe so. Mornings are often a very strange mixture of being sleepy, feeling a bit rushed, but also feeling quite hopeful about the possibilities of a new day.
My morning felt very much the same. I opened my eyes, grabbed my phone just to check the weather for one tiny minute, and then suddenly, 15 minutes had simply evaporated into thin air.
Ah, the just 1 minute trap. That is a very dangerous habit, Jessica. Very dangerous indeed.
It really is. And that is actually the perfect reason why today's topic is so vital for all of us.
You're right. Our focus today is on building a morning routine to improve your English. We want to discuss actual mornings, the real ones, not the perfect, staged mornings you see on social media, and how you can reclaim that time to nurture your English skills.
Yes, for many students, the morning is just a loud alarm, a glowing phone screen, a frantic rush, and then work. By the time the day ends, they say, I simply don't have any time for English. We want to show you a better path, a gentle, calm routine that actually fits into a busy, real life.
And before we describe that routine in detail, we want to share a very important update about how English Real Talks will be structured from this point forward.
Yes, we have a slightly new strategy for every episode, not just for this topic, but for all our future conversations about daily life and personal growth.
We have decided to always speak using B1 level English. This means we will keep our pace slow, our pronunciation clear, and our sentences simple, so you can feel completely relaxed and secure while you listen.
But at the same time, we are going to carefully introduce a few B2 level words, specific phrases, and interesting idioms in every single episode. This way, you can slowly and safely reach toward a higher level of fluency.
And whenever we use one of those more advanced or stronger words, we'll pause for a second. We'll explain it using very easy English and place it in a real-life sentence, so you never feel confused. You'll feel safe because the base language is simple, but you'll also feel like you are gently stretching your capabilities. Not too fast, and definitely not too slow.
Exactly. It's just like a light physical stretch before you start a workout. You get to enjoy the interesting topic, while quietly in the background, your English level begins to shift from B1 toward B2.
But Jessica, let me ask you honestly, does this method really work? Can someone really improve just by listening to simple conversations with a few harder words thrown in?
I truly believe it does. It isn't like magic that happens overnight, but it works like a slow, steady transformation.
Slow and steady is key because it makes it easy to keep going without quitting, doesn't it?
That is exactly it. It's realistic. You don't have to overhaul your entire existence. You just listen to one soothing episode and perhaps add a tiny bit of practice every single day. That consistent daily rhythm is exactly what pushes you toward B2.
And what about vocabulary? How does this style help someone actually remember new words and phrases?
Well, you aren't just staring at a dry list of definitions. You hear these new words used inside real-life situations, like our morning routine topic today. This allows your brain to attach the word to a mental picture and a specific feeling, rather than just a translation in your native language. Your brain says, this phrase fits this specific moment, which makes it much easier to recall later.
That's it perfectly. And when you take the next step and create your own sentence with that new word, your English brain gets a wonderful little workout. It's not a heavy lift, it's just a gentle exercise that makes you stronger as time passes. So we have a small challenge for you in every episode now, including right now.
Yes, while you're listening today, try to pick out just one new word, a phrase, or an idiom that you really like.
It might be a single word that feels a bit unfamiliar, or a phrase you don't usually say but you understand because of the context of our talk.
When we reach the end of the episode, ask yourself, what is the one new thing I truly learned today?
And then be brave enough to construct one simple sentence using that word or phrase. You can say it out loud to yourself or jot it down in your notebook.
And if you're feeling especially bold, please write that sentence in the comments below.
When you do that, your English brain gets a real practical workout. It's like a tiny gym session for your vocabulary and your personal confidence.
We honestly love reading those sentences. We really do. We can see your progress happening in real time, and other students can learn from your examples as well. If you enjoy this relaxed way of learning with daily topics and small challenges, please remember to like this episode, subscribe, and share it with a friend who is also on this journey.
Your support is what helps English Real Talks grow, and it helps more learners discover that learning English can be a peaceful experience. Okay, now that you understand our B1 to B2 plan, let's return to the topic, a morning routine to improve your English. We're going to look at the typical morning, the alarm, the phone, the coffee, the rush, and find places where we can quietly insert English without adding any extra stress.
So, take a deep breath, get comfortable, perhaps hold your warm tea or coffee, and join us as we walk through your morning. Let's start with a basic question, Professor. Why focus so much on the morning? Why not the evening or during lunch?
For me, Jessica, the morning is like a blank page in a brand new notebook. Nothing has been written yet, your mind is still fresh, the world is often still quiet, and your phone hasn't started bombarding you with notifications yet.
That's true. It feels like the whole city is still stretching and waking up. There are fewer messages and fewer people demanding your attention. You finally have a brief window of time where nobody is truly disturbing you.
And how you choose to use that blank page can really set the tone for your day.
When we say set the tone for your day, we mean that those very first minutes decide the overall mood of your day. It's like picking the very first song on a long playlist. If you start with a stressful song, the whole day feels stressed.
But if you start with something meaningful and calm, like a very small English routine, the entire day feels different. And if you do this repeatedly, it doesn't just help your language skills, it can quietly change your whole life.
Professor, do you have any stories of a morning routine actually changing a student's English level?
I do, actually. I often think of a student named Marco. Marco works in a very busy warehouse. He finishes his shifts very late, and by the time he reaches his home, he is physically and mentally exhausted. His evenings are completely full with chores, family, and a very tired body. There was no room for English.
I know that feeling so well. Marco told us that every single night he would promise himself, "I'll study later tonight," but later never actually arrived. He felt guilty and, quite honestly, a bit overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. That's a good word. It's like when your computer has too many tabs open at once. The work tab, the family tab, the laundry tab, and then you try to open the English tab and the whole system crashes.
Exactly like that. One day, Marco decided, okay, my nights are chaotic, so I'm going to give my mornings to English instead.
That's an interesting shift. So what did he actually change?
He didn't start with a massive, difficult plan. He simply set his alarm 15 minutes earlier than usual. While he was sitting on the bus to work, he put on his noise-canceling headphones and listened to a short English story instead of just scrolling through the news.
Same bus, same time, just a different choice.
Precisely. After 1 week, he added a second step. When he got off the bus and had 5 minutes before his shift started, he opened a simple notes app on his phone and wrote just 3 sentences in English about his goals for the day. So the commute, the bus ride, became his private English classroom.
No expensive desk, no fancy textbook, just a seat by the window, his headphones, and a small promise to himself.
He was being much more intentional with his morning.
When we use the word intentional, we mean he wasn't just moving through his day on autopilot. He was making choices on purpose. He chose English over mindless scrolling. Did he notice a difference?
Not on the first day, but little by little he realized he could understand his international supervisors more easily. He didn't feel that spike of panic when someone spoke to him quickly.
Little by little is like building a wall with many small individual bricks. You don't see a huge change after laying one brick, but after some time, you look back and realize you have built something substantial.
That is exactly how it felt for him. Small steps add up when you repeat them every single morning. Small steps add up. That means many tiny actions, when combined over weeks and months, turn into something significant.
You don't need Marco's exact job or his bus route. You can take the core idea, choose one specific part of your morning and designate it as your English time.
Let's discuss why this specific routine matters so deeply. The morning isn't just about the clock. It's about the version of you that wakes up. If you wake up, grab your phone, and stay in bed for 30 minutes scrolling, that lazy, distracted feeling often follows you to work, to your school, and even into your evening.
It's like starting your day by eating junk food. You will survive the day, but you won't feel your best. But when you wake up and complete one small thing with discipline and purpose, like 5 minutes of English, that positive energy travels with you.
It's like installing a small but very powerful battery in your day. It's not giant, but it keeps you moving forward.
That is why mornings are so potent. They are a quiet opportunity to ask yourself, who am I going to be today? The version that is easily distracted, or the version that moves just a little bit closer to their future goals?
Okay, so if a listener is thinking, I love this concept, but what do I actually do? How can we keep it simple for them?
We can think of a morning routine like a small, nutritious breakfast for your English. It can have 4 simple parts: listen, speak, write, and review. We don't need a giant feast, just a few bites.
I love that image, a breakfast for your English. So what is the first bite?
Step 1, or the first bite, is simple. Listen in English.
We all know the automatic habit. The alarm goes off, we unlock the phone, we open social media, and suddenly 20 minutes have vanished.
Instead, imagine this. You place your phone on the counter, you start the kettle for your tea, and you press play on a calm English podcast. It's the same phone, just a different button. In the morning, your brain is like a clean, dry sponge. It hasn't touched the dirty water of daily stress yet. Whatever you put into that sponge first will soak in very deeply.
So if the very first thing you hear is English, a story, a lesson, or even something motivational, your brain can hold on to it much better than it could at the end of an exhausting day.
And it doesn't have to be a formal study session. You can listen while you're brushing your teeth or making toast. That is what we mean when we say it is realistic. It fits inside the life you are already living.
Exactly. Realistic means you don't need a perfectly quiet library for 2 hours. You use the moments you already have.
And once your ears are awake, it is time to wake up your mouth as well. Step 2. Speak out loud.
Many students tell us, I can read beautifully and I understand everything, but when I actually have to speak, my brain just stops. It's like watching people go to the gym every day, but never moving your own muscles. Of course, your muscles will feel stiff when you finally try to lift something.
Your morning can be a tiny gym for your mouth. After you finish listening, try to repeat a few sentences you heard, or just talk to yourself for 2 minutes.
You can quietly say things like, okay, how am I feeling today? What do I need to accomplish? What is one thing I am happy about? When you speak like that, you're not just memorizing words, you're building real confidence. Your tongue and lips start to remember the patterns of English, just like they remember the lyrics to your favorite song.
And the best part is that in the early morning, nobody is watching you. Nobody is judging your mistakes. It's just you, your own voice, and perhaps your mirror.
Yes, it's a completely safe space to use your voice. And after your voice is awake, we can wake up your thoughts too. Step 3, write in English.
I like to think of writing as tidying up your mental desk. Usually, our thoughts are like papers scattered everywhere. When you write, you put those papers in a logical order.
In the morning, you can write a very small paragraph, just 3 or 4 sentences about your plans, your dreams, or just how you feel. You don't need to worry about perfect grammar or spelling. The only goal here is to start thinking in English, not to impress a teacher.
This type of writing is very mindful. You're not just rushing headfirst into the day. You're stopping to ask, what is happening inside me right now?
When we say mindful, we mean you are awake on the inside. You're noticing your thoughts instead of letting them pull you around like a dog on a leash.
And often, after you write, you feel a bit refreshed. It's like you opened a window in a very crowded, stuffy room.
Refreshed is that wonderful feeling when your brain says, I can finally breathe again.
And to keep your English skills fresh and healthy, you have to water them just a little bit every day. Step 4. Review what you have learned. Learning something new without reviewing it is like buying new houseplants every day but never watering the old ones. The new ones look great for a second, but they die very quickly.
So in the morning, you can take just 5 minutes to look again at a word from yesterday or a phrase you really liked.
That is how you become consistent. You don't do it by trying to learn 50 new words in one day and then doing nothing for a week. You do it by touching English just a little bit every single morning. Consistent means you build a rhythm, like brushing your teeth. You don't brush for an hour on Sunday, you brush for 2 minutes every single day.
And with that steady rhythm, English stops feeling so overwhelming. It becomes a normal, quiet part of your daily life.
Now, perhaps a small voice in your head is saying, "This all sounds lovely, but I genuinely don't have time in the morning." And we really do understand that. Many of you have young children, very long commutes, or work night shifts. Life is incredibly busy.
But sometimes, I don't have time actually means my time is already filled with small habits that I never chose on purpose.
Exactly. Maybe you cannot wake up a full hour earlier. That might not be realistic, but perhaps you can change just 15 minutes. Maybe you keep your coffee routine exactly the same, but you change what you're listening to while you drink it. You keep the same train ride, but you change what you do with your hands and your eyes on that train.
When something is truly important to us, we usually find a way to make time for it. We do it for Netflix series, we do it for mobile games, and we do it for scrolling. We can certainly do it for our future selves as well.
And your English is a big part of that future. It's not just a school subject you have to pass. It's a door that you are slowly building with your own hands.
There's also this common idea that only talented people can become good at a second language.
But if you listen to real success stories, you see a very different pattern. It is rarely just about natural talent.
It is much more about discipline and routine. The people who truly grow are not always the smartest people in the room. Often, they are simply the ones who quietly show up, day after day.
Perhaps they failed their exams in school. Maybe their teachers told them, "You just aren't a language person." But they made a small promise to themselves in the morning.
While others are still sleeping, they listen for 10 minutes. While others are scrolling, they write 3 simple sentences.
These actions are like tiny drops of water hitting a rock. Over time, those tiny drops can carve a path through the solid stone.
That is why we say small habits create big futures. Not in one week, But in 1 year or in 5 years, they make your progress almost unstoppable.
And why put all this effort into English anyway? Because English is much more than just a way to pass a test.
English is like a key. It opens up doors that you might not even be able to see clearly yet. Better jobs, easier travel, new friendships, and content from every corner of the planet.
Maybe for you, the goal is understanding your favorite YouTuber without needing the subtitles. Maybe it's being able to write a professional CV, or speaking confidently to your child's teacher, or feeling relaxed during a business meeting.
English provides you with confidence, that calm internal feeling of, I can handle this situation. And that confidence is what gives you the courage to step into new rooms and begin new lives.
And the morning is the best time to build that key, bit by bit. The world is quiet, and your future is listening. So if we summarize everything, the message is quite simple. Don't throw away your mornings.
They're not just getting ready for work time, they're building your future time.
Listen, speak, write, and review, even if each action is very small.
And these tiny actions, when repeated, will make your days feel more productive, your mind feel more refreshed, and your heart feel more energized.
Productive here doesn't mean you have to become a machine. It just means that at the end of the day, you can smile and say, I did something good for myself today.
And refreshed is when your mind feels lighter, not heavy with the guilt of, I should have studied. And energized is when you feel a bit more prepared to face whatever the day brings.
Your life won't transform in a single morning, but it absolutely will change if you use many mornings in this new way. We are so happy to sit with you in those mornings, in your kitchen, on your bus, or under your blanket, and be a small part of your English routine.
You know, Professor, we used quite a few big words and phrases today. Maybe we should slow down and walk through a few of them again, like a tiny vocabulary tour.
Yes, a calm little word walk. This isn't a test, it's just a moment to really feel the meaning of the words.
Exactly. As you listen, try to think about which of these words feels most useful for your own life right now. Professor, one phrase we used was set the tone for your day.
Yes, when we say set the tone for your day, we mean the very first minutes of your morning decide the emotional atmosphere of your entire day.
It is exactly like choosing the first song on a playlist. If that first song is loud, jarring, and stressful, the whole playlist feels noisy.
But if the first song is warm and calm, suddenly the whole playlist feels softer. Your mood shifts.
For many people, that first song is a stressful email or a social media argument. That sets a stressed tone. But if your first song is a 10-minute English podcast, you set a peaceful, focused tone.
You could say, listening to English in the morning really helps set the tone for my day.
Perhaps you can think now, what is the very first song in your morning playlist?
Another phrase we used was little by little. Little by little means slowly, step by step, rather than all at once.
It's like filling a large glass of water using only tiny drops. One drop looks like nothing at all, but if you don't stop, one day the glass is completely full.
English works the same way. One short podcast, one small paragraph, one quick review. Today, you might not see a massive change.
But when you look back after 6 months, you will suddenly realize, wow, my English is completely different. That didn't happen overnight. It happened little by little.
You can say, little by little, my English fluency is improving with my morning routine.
So, if you feel like your progress is slow, remember that slow is perfectly okay as long as you keep moving little by little. We also used the idiom, small steps add up.
That means that small actions, when repeated many times, eventually become something very big.
Picture a tall mountain. Every single step you take is tiny, but all those steps together are what take you to the summit. No single step is impressive on its own, but they add up.
Maybe your small step is 5 minutes of listening while the tea steeps.
On its own, it seems small.
But 5 minutes multiplied by 30 days is 150 minutes. That is more than 2 hours of English in just 1 month.
You can say, small steps add up. My daily 10 minutes of English are slowly changing my confidence.
So don't dismiss your small steps. They are quietly constructing your future.
We also mentioned the phrase, a fresh start. A fresh start is a brand new beginning, like a clean page. Even if yesterday was a mess or you felt lazy, today gives you another opportunity.
It's like wiping a whiteboard completely clean. All the old mistakes disappear, and you can write something entirely new.
Maybe yesterday you didn't touch your English at all and you feel a little guilty.
But when the sun comes up, you can say, okay, it's a new day and a fresh start. I will just do 10 minutes right now.
You can say, today is a fresh start. I am going to listen to English for 10 minutes.
The morning is kind. It always offers you a fresh start.
Let's discuss the word intentional.
Intentional means you do something on purpose, with a clear reason, not just by accident. You don't just follow old habits, you actively choose.
Imagine 2 different mornings. In the first one, your finger just automatically clicks on a social media app without you even thinking. That is not intentional.
In the second morning, you stop for just 1 second and say, no, today I am going to open my podcast app instead. That 1 second is you being intentional.
You are still using the same phone and drinking the same coffee, but your choice is different. You can say, I was very intentional this morning. I chose a podcast instead of scrolling.
When you start being intentional with small things, big changes will slowly follow. Now, what about the word overwhelmed?
Overwhelmed is that feeling when there are too many things happening at the same time and it feels heavy in your mind.
It's like your brain is a small table and everyone keeps stacking heavy books on it. Work, family, chores, messages, until the books start falling off.
Many learners feel overwhelmed when they say, I am going to study grammar and vocabulary and pronunciation and watch 3 movies today.
That plan looks good on paper, but it is much too heavy. And when a plan is too heavy, we usually end up doing nothing at all. You can say, I feel overwhelmed when I try to study too many different things in one day.
A simple, kind morning routine helps you feel less overwhelmed because the plan stays light and simple. Now, another important word is distracted.
Distracted means you cannot focus because other things are pulling at your attention. It's like trying to read a book while a loud TV is on and someone is talking to you. Your attention jumps around like a little bird.
In the morning, our phones can make us very distracted. You open it for one thing and suddenly 15 minutes are gone. You can say, I get very distracted in the morning when I start with social media instead of my English practice.
A simple English routine can act as a shield, protecting you from starting your day in a distracted state.
Let's look at the word realistic.
Realistic means that something is actually possible for you to do in your real life. It fits your actual energy levels and your real schedule.
A realistic plan is like a pair of shoes that are the right size. If they're too big, you trip. If they're too small, they hurt. The right size allows you to walk every day.
Saying, I will study English for 3 hours every morning is usually not realistic for most people with a job or a family.
But saying, I will give 15 minutes to English is realistic. You can actually achieve it. You can say, 10 minutes of English in the morning is realistic for my lifestyle.
Realistic plans are the only ones you will actually keep. Another key word is consistent.
Consistent doesn't mean being perfect. It means doing something regularly, again and again, even if the action is small.
Like we said with brushing your teeth. You don't brush for an hour once a week. You do it for a short time every day. Being consistent with English might mean 10 minutes every weekday morning rather than 5 hours once a month.
You can say, I am not perfect, but I am consistent. I practice my English every morning from Monday to Friday.
Consistency is the magic ingredient that turns little by little into a real, lasting change.
We also use the word mindful.
Mindful is like being awake on the inside, not just moving on the outside. You are noticing what you are doing and how you are feeling in the moment.
Think about drinking coffee. Not mindful is just sipping and scrolling and forgetting the taste. Mindful is sipping, noticing the warmth, listening to English, and feeling your body slowly wake up.
A mindful morning routine is when you don't just run through the motions. You stop for a moment and say, "This time is specifically for me and my English."
You can say, I want my morning routine to be more mindful, not just automatic.
Mindful doesn't mean you are perfect, it just means you are present in the moment.
Another word is productive.
Productive means that your time did something beneficial for you. You feel like the time was used well.
It's like planting a tiny seed. It isn't a forest yet, but it's a start.
If you scroll for 20 minutes, you often feel a bit empty afterward. But if you listen to English and write 3 sentences, you feel productive, even if it only took a few minutes.
You can say, I feel much more productive when I start my day with English instead of just scrolling.
Productive mornings help your whole day feel a little bit stronger. We also used the word refreshed.
Refreshed means you feel like you have brand new energy. Your mind feels clean and clear, not heavy.
It's like opening a window and feeling a cool breeze. The room is the same, but the feeling is completely different. A short time writing or listening in English can make you feel refreshed, as if your brain had a little morning shower. You can say, "After I write a few sentences in English, I feel much more refreshed."
You don't have to wait for a long holiday to feel refreshed. Sometimes 10 quiet minutes are enough. And finally, the word energized.
Energized means you feel full of energy and ready to take action. You aren't necessarily at 100%, but you feel more awake and alive. It's like when your phone battery goes from 10% to 50%. It isn't full, but you know you can do things now.
A small English routine can make you feel exactly like that. You can say, my morning English routine makes me feel much more energized for the rest of my day.
Energized mornings don't have to be loud or intense. They can be very calm but very strong on the inside. Okay, now it is finally your turn. While you were listening to us today, perhaps one specific word or phrase felt special to you.
Maybe it was intentional. Maybe it was overwhelmed. Maybe it was small steps add up. Or perhaps another one we mentioned. At the end of today, or right after you finish this episode, ask yourself, what is the one new word or phrase I truly learned today?
Then, be bold enough to create just one simple sentence using it. It doesn't need to be fancy or perfect, just honest.
You can say it out loud in your room or write it down in your notebook.
And if you're feeling brave, we would truly love to see your sentence in the comments section. When you do that, your English brain gets a small but important workout. It's a gym session for your vocabulary and your confidence.
And remember, your sentence might be the exact thing that helps another learner. They might read it and think, oh, I can use that word in that way too.
If you enjoyed spending your morning with us at English Real Talks, discussing routines and your future, we would really appreciate your support. Please like this episode, subscribe to our channel, and perhaps share this with a friend who also wants to improve their English in a calm, realistic way.
Your support is what helps our podcast grow, and it helps more students learn how to turn their mornings into valuable English time.
And tomorrow morning, when that alarm rings, perhaps you will remember this conversation. You might take a deep breath and choose just one tiny English action. Listen a little, speak a little, write a little, or review a little.
Small steps add up.
And we will be right here walking alongside you little by little. This has been English Real Talks. I'm Jessica.
And I'm the professor. Take care of yourself, keep moving forward, and we'll see you in the very next episode.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.